First up, video game movies haven't fared very well with critics. In fact, nearly every single one has been trounced, with a few notable exceptions. From Slash Film, the latest exception is the Angry Birds Movie 2, which has so far managed to stay fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. It's officially the highest-rated video game movie ever on Rotten Tomatoes, but don't break out the champagne just yet, as it's sitting in the low 70 percentile range. One can't help but wonder if any video game movie will ever rise above the 70% territory. Maybe Sonic the Hedgehog will triumph next year? Next up, there's a common question that you hear whenever Disney announces another remake from its animated catalog. Why? However, one of the producers behind the recent remake on Aladdin says that it was a movie that could truly use a remake. From Cinema Blend, Aladdin producer Dan Lin said the following: "I think certainly with where the women's movement has gone, that we felt like, with the Jasmine character from the original movie, she felt like a classic Disney princess from back in the day, and really just ultimately focused on romance. And we felt like there's a chance for us to create a new kind of role model for young girls with our version of Jasmine that would be much more of a leader, someone who wanted to stand up for herself and her ideals and wanted to have a voice. That was a big part of our pitch with Aladdin, was that we were going to improve upon her character." Next up, Nathan Stewart Jarrett of Misfits and Coleman Domingo of Fear the Walking Dead are ready to say Candyman's name 5 times in the mirror. From Deadline, the two actors have joined Jordan Peele's forthcoming reboot of the classic horror film, which has begun principal photography this week in Chicago. The film will be shot entirely in Chicago and feature various locations throughout the city, including the neighborhood where the legend began, the now gentrified North Side where the Cabrini Green housing projects once stood. Next up, The Haunting of Hill House was, well, a haunting experience. The first season of the Netflix anthology series certainly set a high bar, which will be tough to follow. From JoBlo.com, Mike Flanagan is hard at work on the second season, now titled The Haunting of Bly Manor, which will be based on The Turn of the Screw by Henry James and feature a new story with all new characters. Flanagan had this to say about the new season: "For Henry James fans, it's going to be pretty wild. And for people who aren't familiar with his work, it's going to be unbelievably scary. I already think it's much scarier than season 1, so I'm very excited about it." The Haunting of Bly Manor will premiere on Netflix in 2020. And finally, Dennis Leary has been cast in a lead role in Fox's upcoming event series, A Moody Christmas. From Variety, the single-cam comedy follows Dan Moody as he returns home to spend Christmas with his dysfunctional family. When he arrives, he's met with the inevitable madness of a family whose members are all hiding things from each other. Leary's best-known television series is the FX dramedy Rescue Me, which Leary also co-created in addition and played the lead role. Like the original, the Fox series will run for 6 half-hour episodes. And that will do it for today's installment of the Movie News Feed.